Hey everybody, Big John here. Hope this video finds you well. Today we're going to tackle a subject that that some people might find a little touchy. However, it's something that I've dealt with the majority of my life, and that is the pros and cons of being a big person. Whether you want to call us big, whether you want to call us obese, whether you want to call us fat, that whatever you want to call us, that is that's your choice. I accept all of the above if you're wondering, because I've been a big person the majority of my life, and I I also have experienced nearly everything that you can experience as a big person. So let's just get right into it. What are some of the pros and cons of being a big person? Yes, there are some pros. At least there were some when I was younger. But when I was younger, one of the pros was being an anti-bully. What does that mean? Well, everybody's bullied when at some point in time in their life. And when I grew up, I wasn't, I was a normal sized kid until maybe 8, 10 years old. Started getting bigger. But anyhow, I was picked on just like any other kid, and didn't care for it much at all. So when I started getting bigger and growing taller than the rest of my classmates and getting bigger muscular wise, and because I wasn't always what would be considered morbidly obese. I was once quite athletic. Even though I was a big guy, I was quite athletic, and I played sports, played baseball, played soccer. Believe it or not, my school did not have football. I was a misplaced football player, obviously, but I played soccer, and later on in life became a professional wrestler on a very small scale, but a professional wrestler nonetheless. Made a little bit of money at it, very little money, but anyhow. But I had the opportunity to, when I would see some of my friends actually getting bullied by someone stepping in and say, "Hey, this is not going to happen. Stop it right now." So I guess if you really wanted to uh, get specific, I guess you would call me the bully's bully. But that's not the way I looked at it. I just looked at myself and putting a stop to it. And only once upon a time, did it escalate into anything physical, and it didn't turn out too well for the bully. So um, I do kind of commend him for stepping up and making the first move. He didn't like that I, kind of tried to put an end to his bullying, so he thought he would step up and try me, and it was a mistake. Anyhow, but anyway, kind of being the anti-bully was kind of neat growing up. Another thing that was kind of neat being a big person, a pro. If you speak of it as a pro or a con, making your way through a crowd, you can kind of just, hey, if you're with a group of people or you're with your family and you want to get from point A to point B and you're in a crowd, and you could just say, "Hey, get behind me and follow me. I will get us there." And yeah, so that's kind of, just make your own path, and get behind me, because we'll get there. But yeah, that's kind of a neat thing. Another thing that is kind of a pro is watching other people tiptoe around the subject that you're a big guy or a fat guy or whatever you want to say. They'll kind of, somebody of your size or somebody of your stature or somebody, I'm not sure that I have something. If you're in a clothing store, don't have something that, of your size to fit you or anything like that. And it's not like this happened to us overnight. Okay. This is something that most people have dealt with being big their whole lives. And it's just kind of funny to watch people tiptoe around it, and not really sure how to approach it. But it's okay. Most people are aware they're a big person. It didn't sneak up on us overnight. So it's okay to kind of, if you need to talk about it, to talk about it. Another thing, another pro during like a shipwreck or like the Titanic or a famine or a snowstorm, or you'll outlive skinnier people because you're more likely to survive because you got more fat on you. So hey, think about that. Your large number, another pro, your large mass makes you a little more stabilizing when you're standing or riding a motorcycle or skiing or skating or shooting or anything where you're being pushed around, like say sumo wrestlers. Okay, you ever seen a skinny sumo wrestler? If you have, how good were they? Not very. So it just there are certain things. Tug of war is another thing that you're beneficial in. Um, when you're walking on snow or well, I don't really want to say ice because really nobody's stable on ice, but walking on snow you tend to be a little more stable. But yeah, so those are some pros and cons. But yeah, so those are the pros. Let's look at some of the cons anyway. All right, so let's look at con number one. Society as a whole wishes you didn't exist. Let's be honest. If you look at the way the world views America, as a big person, hello, Hallie. As a big person, fat person, whatever you want to call me, this is what a typical American looks like, and in the eyes of the world. And America really wishes that didn't exist, and society really wishes that didn't exist. So, do you ever see very many fat people being portrayed on TV? If you do, is it in a very very good way? Or is it more of a comedy way? Or how do you see fat people being portrayed? It's usually not in a very good light. The show Mike and Molly was kind of a good show, and the kind of but they always referenced how big they were. And anyhow, that society wished you'd just go away. That way they didn't have to deal with the whole idea of you being obese or being fat or anything like that. Another con are snide remarks, bullying. Yes, big people get bullied, and people think they're being helpful sometimes by saying things, and they're actually being hurtful. I've been approached by several people who have been my superiors in the workplace that have unsolicited have approached me about my weight, and it's something that had nothing to do with my job. And they approached me about, you really should lose some weight, John. You're too young. Well, you think I don't know this? You think I don't know that I need to lose weight? Honestly, I don't need you coming and telling me that I need to lose weight. I got that. I understand that. I'm not stupid. I get it. I realize I'm bigger than the average person. I need to lose weight. So it just, yeah, the snide remarks, the things like that. I had mentioned in my last video that I have multiple sclerosis. For those of you who don't know what multiple sclerosis, just to wrap it up in a real tight, quick ball here, it's a disease of the central nervous system where your immune system attacks your central nervous system, which consists of your brain, your spinal cord, and for some reason your immune system attacks your central nervous system. They don't know what causes it. They don't know why, but anyway, it causes scars or lesions on either on your brain or on your spinal cord. Then it affects different parts of your life, whether it's walking. I have what they call a gait disorder. I also, which means I don't walk right, and I do need a cane the majority of the time to become stable and to get around. There is no known cure for it other than being healed by a miracle of God. Um, they do have medication for it. I am on a treatment for it. I'm on a daily injection that they hope will slow down the process of multiple sclerosis, but there is no cure for it. However, so because of this, getting around is tough. Okay, number one, I also have back problems, which makes it very difficult to move and get around and get up in the morning, get out of bed, and get up out of the chair, get in and out of a vehicle. It makes it tough. So with the multiple sclerosis on top of it, which I'm just telling you my story. Okay, I don't know. I don't know anybody else's story to tell, so I'm just going to tell you my story. And the story that I tell is when I go to Walmart or to a department store of any sort that have the scooters available to you, that I use them, and the remarks sometimes or the looks that you get when I'm a young guy, 46 years old. I'm big. I mentioned that 470 pounds and working on that to get down some, and looking to have bariatric surgery. But the looks that I get from people when I'm in say Walmart or Lowe's or a grocery store or anything like that, when I'm going, or I get a cart or get in a scooter, or I'm going down the aisle, and people just kind of look at them and kind of roll their eyes. They're like, there's another fat guy who's just too lazy to get up and walk around. I see that. I see that when that happens, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't make me feel good. Keep your opinions to yourself. I don't need you to roll your eyes at me, and neither you don't need to roll your eyes at anybody else, because you don't know their situation. You don't know why they need a scooter. You don't know why they can't get around. You don't know why their life. So, hey, just buy your stuff and mind your own business and keep moving. But anyhow, okay, enough of my preaching. But yeah, snide remarks, the looks you get, things like that, they're hurtful. Another con: health problems that are associated with obesity and also getting older. What I said that I believe in the last video, that when I was younger, that I considered being big being an asset, and as I get older, I'm seeing that it's a liability, and it's becoming a liability because the extra weight is putting pressure on my back. It's putting pressure on my internal organs. It's putting pressure on my hips, my legs. It just causes all kinds of issues. I'm on way too many medications that are. I have sleep apnea. I wear a CPAP every night to sleep, and if you don't know what a CPAP is, it's a machine that, because of my obesity, and I have what's called obstructive sleep apnea, to where there are times while I'm sleeping that that I'll stop breathing, and the CPAP actually kickstarts, gets the air flowing again, and so that that these are things that you deal with, and heart issues. I don't thank the Lord above, I don't have a heart issue at the moment. I just recently had a heart cath as a preparation for the bariatric surgery that I'm planning on having soon. That came back pretty clean, and just normal stuff that you would see in a 46-year-old, which is kind of surprising to me, because I don't eat well. I never have eaten well. I never have liked vegetables. I do like fruit. I'll eat fruit. if it's available to me. But yeah, I eat stuff that normally, that you would consider that makes people fat. I like pizza. I like bread. I like, different things. I like sugary stuff. I like sweet stuff. So that's why I'm looking at the surgery. It's kind of a forced rehab. I've tried the diets. I tried on my own. The willpower. I don't have the willpower that I need to do what I need to do to lose weight. And this is kind of just, people say, oh, it's the easy way out. You know what? This isn't a real easy path, and this isn't something that I'm taking lightly in the decision to make, to have this surgery done, because there can be complications with it. And I and to this point, I've gone back and forth. Is this something that I really want to do? Do I really want to subject my body to surgery in order to lose weight? And I don't see any other way of doing it. At least, because I can't get up and exercise like I would want to, because of the multiple sclerosis and my back. It's just really, really frustrating. So yeah, I mean, this is what I'm looking at. And another thing, I made mention that the stability that you have with a pro. One of the cons is when you don't have that stability and you do fall. The old saying, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, is true. When I fall, I make a big boom, and and when you fall, it hurts. Even though I have a little bit of an advantage that a lot of people don't, as a professional wrestler, I learned how to fall correctly to the point where I don't put my hands out when I fall. One of the instincts that you have when you fall, let's say you're falling forward, is your body will sacrifice itself your brain will sacrifice the body in order to save itself. So if your body feels itself going, your equilibrium going off, and you're starting to fall, it will, put your hands out, things like that. And a lot of people end up with broken arms and different broken bones because they don't know how to fall. And where in the world would you learn how to fall other than being a pro wrestler, maybe being a gymnast or something along that line? I just have that privilege that, if I feel myself falling backwards, the arms come in, the neck goes down so that I don't, have the whiplash effect. The neck is, tuck that chin into my neck, into my chest. And so, but it still hurts. It still hurts. I mean, 470 pounds coming down on a hardwood floor or concrete or just the ground in general. It's tough. So yeah, so the bigger they are, the harder they fall. It's true. So yeah. So anyway, I just want to make this quick video. The pros and cons of being a big person. If you are a big person and you're checking this out, and if you're younger than I am, I'm 46, and if you have not, exhausted all of the avenues of trying to lose weight, don't let yourself get to my point. Don't let yourself get to the point where, that you have to have surgery in order to lose weight. Don't let yourself get to that point. If I could go back and talk to a 25-year-old me, or even a 35-year-old me, and say, hey, you know what? When you get to be in your mid 40s, you're gonna find out that you have multiple sclerosis. You're not going to be able to get around the way you want to, and your size is really going to hinder you. I that would be kind of helpful. But anyhow, I like the way that wire's sticking out. But anyway, you can't go back and talk to yourself, and if you would, you kind of freak yourself out. The whole thing, Back to the Future issues. Okay, it's but anyhow, thank you for watching. Please comment. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please comment. Please hit the little notification bell and subscribe. And I will see you very, very soon. Love y'all. Bye.